You know when you tell your friend that you should start a podcast?
That's what we did.
Hi, my name is Tati.
And my name is Esme.
This is the Soul and Sips podcast.
Come and have a sip with us. Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode.
Yay.
Yay.
I just went wrong.
Yeah, we went right into it, into the drink.
I wanted it so
But I think you need it because, how are you doing? You're not doing the best.
No, I'm doing great. It's fine. It's just like my body's so tired.
Yeah.
Like, I did this is gonna have more time, but we also record one episode yesterday, so it's more risky. Yesterday I was swimming and then we did this exercise and it's like an arm exercise and it killed my arms. And then today in the morning we went to Pilates and we did a lot of arms too, and then my arms are like, no.
I have to
So
say
I'm,
I'm also
exhausted.
dead. And I was so unexpectedly busy today for work that I was like, oh my god, I cannot right now.
Yeah, we
And
mentioned it like that before. Like early when I came here, I was saying like to you, I was like, oh, it's like you think you have an easy day,
Yeah,
and then out of somewhere it's just
shit's on fire.
yeah. and then you kind of not ready for it. Like if you know it's gonna be a busy day, you're like, okay, it's gonna be a busy day. Let's go, let's get it.
Let's get into it.
But when you thought it was gonna be easy, and then it gets hard.
And you went to Pilates in the morning. You're like, oh my god, I cannot today. No, please.
Yeah, but it was a nice class. I liked it though.
Yeah. Well, sip of the day. You have an iced coffee because you need it. And I have a gebrouwen door vrouwen, which means brewed by women. It's a pink can. It's really cute. I love it.
It's very
I don't drink it often. I don't drink beer often, but yeah, you have certain like craft beers that are really good.
Yeah, I don't drink beer, so.
And it has little bees on it.
It is so cute.
Cute, huh?
Yes.
I like it. But also, I thought that this fits pretty well with today's topic.
Oh, what? What?
Because it's brewed by women, and today we're kind of talking about women and perfectionism in women.
Yeah.
So, how do we come up with this topic? It was actually it was a topic that was introduced or suggested by a listener.
Oh.
So if that listener is listening, then yes, it was because of you.
Oh, shout out to you.
Quiet. Wait, no, let me open the can because I actually want to sip.
Also, our brains today are not working
Not
anymore.
completely
It's
there, but
already
we're gonna try to make it work.
Yeah.
I need a sip first.
Yeah, sip it first. But yeah,
Also, after a working day, I don't know, like today, like a day like this, I'm like, I need a drink, but I'm drinking. So.
Well, you're drinking beer, so yes. Actually, I wanted to ask if you have wine.
I have wine, I think, or Baileys. That's actually really good with your coffee. If you want some Baileys, just like drop it in.
Too late now. Too late. I'm already half with my coffee. I really needed this coffee.
Okay, but let's kick off.
Yes.
Because I was kind of curious. I think perfectionism, and especially maybe in the sporters world, that's how I see it, is like maybe very ingrained into each other. On the one hand, on the other not. So my first question for you is like, being a professional swimmer, how did it shape your thoughts about yourself and about your performance? Because those are two different things.
Yeah. Actually, when you say like about perfectionism, it actually, swimming made me actually think about not being perfect. And like with swimming, the thing with swimming is like you train so much.
Yeah.
Like you train 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, gym in between if you can. Like you train for so many hours, and when you go to a competition, just swim for maybe 2 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I feel that you just kind of like train so much for this tiny little time, and you put a lot of pressure on yourself for that little time because you want to do the best. And sometimes you won, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I remember And actually, like, this is also like something that I learned with my mom. Because at the beginning, also, my mom was really harsh. She's like, why are you not doing? You're training so hard and you're not doing well. Which is like, yes, if they see all the training, it's like, oh, also, why are you not doing well?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, I don't know, the stars, the moon, the water, the swimsuit, the mentality. You really cannot do you 100%. And my mom had to learn to also like be kind with me because she saw that it was affecting me. And I'm like, but I'm trying so hard. And then later on when I moved and I had to deal with that by myself, I also had to be like, there's gonna be days when I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, you have to accept it.
You have to. And then I also, when I go to a swim meet, and I mean, not anymore, but back then, I also need to think that like, okay, I'm swimming and this is my moment and I'm gonna only focus on this. Whatever is happening in my life, in school, blah, 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 I don't care. Then I need to focus so I can give it 100% because I do wanna have good results and all that. But also if it doesn't, of course, like, it's gonna hurt because I train so hard, but...
Yeah, and it can actually affect your life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, for example...
If you don't perform well, it can affect your life.
Yeah, like there's a certain rules, like for example, they couldn't never make my scholarship less. Once it's set up, it can always go higher, but it cannot go lower. So that's like a safety. But you also wanna, I feel that also you wanna do your best. Like I moved to another country for this.
To do this.
I wanna also prove myself and prove others that I could do it.
Yeah, and that's why you would think that it's quite, I don't know, I think you have to be quite strict on yourself.
You have to.
But you also have to learn.
You have to learn. I think at the beginning you are very harsh on yourself and you always wanted to be like strict and be the best, but then later on with time and with experience you learn it is okay if you have an off day. It is okay if you miss one practice because you were not feeling okay.
Yeah, it's just life.
It's just life. And then sometimes also it is you have to push it. Sometimes, yes, you feel a little off, but then you go practice and actually was one of the best practices.
Yeah.
And you will never know if you actually push it. So it's kind of like that balance that like, Like today when we were doing Pilates, I actually had that feeling. I was so mentally tired. Well, no, physically tired, but my mentality, I was like, let's go, bitches.
Yeah.
So physically I was exhausted, but mentally I was like, let's go. Yeah. Let's go one more round, push it.
Yeah. That's
it. But that's on like I feel that I'm really grateful for swimming because of that. It really helped me to shape on that. But like how you think like that changed with your life? Like, do you have any experience like that to help you switch and be kind to yourself?
No. No, but
like I wonder like what? How does normal people do? Like what did you do? Like I had swimming. That's
you go to therapy, girl.
My therapy was swimming. And honestly, it's still kind of therapy going swimming for me.
Yeah,
like, I love it.
It's like meditation or something.
It's like meditation.
I can imagine that.
I love it.
Yeah. No, but I'm just kidding. Like, but yes, I do think it's part of it. Like, of course, at some point you realize like nobody's perfect, and I also don't think it's good to be perfect. I think it's good to be imperfect because we're all like ourselves. But I do think that women, girls are kind of taught by society to be good, to be nice, to not be bitchy, to not be mean, to not be this, not be that, you know? So there's quite some limitations. And I don't even think that like our parents could have changed anything about that. That's just society.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or like as a kid, as a girl, like you probably will hear a lot like, oh, your hair is so nice, or, oh, you look so beautiful, and very much on the outside.
Yeah.
And so whenever I'm with Javi's niece, for example, I also try to be a little bit conscious and say like, oh, you're so good at that, or you're so this. Like not only saying good your hair is so beautiful or you look so good, because that's not what it's about, you know?
Yeah, and like sometimes it is nice, but it's like there's need to be a balance too.
Yeah,
like
that's
of course
the thing.
I want you to say my hair is cute.
Of course we want you
but
to say.
But I also want you to say that like I'm doing well.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do think like there's this thing in society that like women have to look beautiful, or women have to.
Yeah, I think
I also think
it has changed more.
Yeah, but I think mostly like the women have to be kind. Like yes, and women have to be caretakers. Like
Yeah.
Not necessarily, like everybody can be a caretaker.
But we're like mentally prepared, or like in society, they teach us how to be a caretaker.
Yes.
Yeah. But also, like I know of that, and I hate it when like, this is also a reason why I hate the color pink. This is my rebel myself here.
I'm here with a pink can.
I'm like disgusted. It's because I grew up, and then they were like, I think my aunt and my grandma, they will always put me in pink stuff, blah, 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 and my mom didn't like it, and all that. And then I always asked like, oh, why pink and all that. It's like, oh, pink is for like girls and blue is for guys. And I was like, but why?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a color. Like,
no.
My little brain could not comprehend why. And they were like, oh, but that's just how it is. And I'm like, no. But why? So then, in a way, I was like, I will never wear or have anything pink just because I'm a girl.
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm a girl, I need to like wear or love the color pink.
No,
I'm like, no.
Not.
Then I'm gonna hate it now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then now I hate it. Like, I just don't like the color.
Yeah.
And you will never see me wearing anything pink because I also think it's not my color too. I also don't think it's my color, but I feel it just became from that of like just kind of being a rebel and being like,
yeah.
Don't tell me the pink is my color.
Yeah,
like,
don't tell me what to do, like, with anything.
Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't tell me what to do. But I think that's like a very me thing. And I also like, I don't know, maybe that's why I also have like problems with like other people sometimes, because I remember with one of my exes, his family was very classic, like moms, women in the kitchen, blah, 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 and all that. And I hated that, and then I feel that for some reason I don't have like an example. I cannot think of anything specific that I did, but I remember saying or doing something that it didn't seem like girly like, just to fucking piss them off.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I'm like,
I also have that.
So dumb. Like,
I also have that rebel in me.
Yeah,
to be honest.
like,
yeah.
And maybe also another reason why the relationship didn't work out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm just not meant. Like, I just don't want to fit in like whatever you tell me to.
No.
Like, just because I'm a woman of a girl, it's like
No, but also like, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I haven't been always super girly. I mean, I have 3 brothers. I only have boy cousins. So I always used to play with anything. Like, I used to play with cars. I thought that that baby dolls, still think that baby dolls are very scary. Like, I don't like them. They freak the fuck out of me. Yeah.
I did have one. I did love them. And
I think they're so scary.
I actually have like a big, like, it was like this big.
Oh, I don't like dolls. I never liked dolls.
Do you like never play with Barbies and stuff like that?
I had some Barbies, but I burned one of them with my cousin. Yeah.
You were that kid.
Yeah, I was that crazy kid. Yeah.
If my sister
I did like
that,
crazy shit.
she's one of you. Because my sister did that.
Yeah.
But she didn't burn them.
No, I mean, we started that, and then you start smelling really bad, and then my uncle was like, yo, don't do this, it's not okay. and then we just went outside and like started catching frogs. We always used to catch frogs.
Yeah.
We really liked that, so that was another activity. Like, we just swapped it for something else. But like, catching frogs is also not something that you would see like any girl, because I was always around boys, like always as a kid. So actually, when I started going to high school and I saw other girls, I went the complete opposite, and I liked to do all the girly stuff. So I didn't want to play soccer. I didn't want to, I was just listening to music with this on the side with the girls, like
okay.
chatting.
In a way, I'm also like that. I always play with dolls. I love the dolls. I don't mind like plushies. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, the thing is like, I hate when like girls be like, oh, I want to be the opposite because I don't want to like society tell me what to do. Yeah. But at the same time, you can also be a girly pop and like that's okay.
Yeah.
You can also wear dresses and troll because you want to.
No, with some things I would be so mad. Like, for example, we have this lake close to my high school where we had to run around, which I think it was like 4.5 or 5 kilometers or something around the lake. And then the girls had to do it within 18 minutes and the boys had to do it within 16 minutes.
Yeah.
So they needed to be faster.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hell no. I'm gonna do it within 16 fucking minutes. And I did. Because then, like that, I have in me. Like, you're not gonna give me 2 separate standards, even
Yeah,
though
no.
I mean there's a reason
Yeah,
for that.
technically, yeah, like, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
I was like, no, hell no.
Yeah, well,
But,
that reminds me in school, I was an athlete of my life, so like you think like, oh, an athlete, you're like sporty.
yeah.
Yeah, sporty in the water.
That's
Outside
funny.
the water is like goodbye, and any
Yeah.
sportiness that I have, gone. Like when we have to run, I also have to do that. Oh, I hated it.
Yeah.
And people said like the girls can do it. Like, yes, thank God. Because I just cannot. I hated it. And when we do the push-ups,
Yeah.
okay, I could do push-ups like normal. But they're like, oh, you can do the knees, the lady push-up. And I was like, okay.
I'm fine with
I
that.
don't mind. Like, so also like, I think as a woman, you can take take advantage of certain
Of
things.
course. Yeah. Yeah, you can. That's true.
Yeah, you're like, oh no, oh, I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Or it's like when you're alone by yourself, you like strong. You don't need no man. All the jars open.
Yeah.
But then when you're like a man is like close to you, I'm like, oh no, I cannot open it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so weak.
Yeah. All the time, and I'm like, oh my god, who did I become?
It's so funny. I think it is funny.
But I do love it when Javi carries things for me and stuff. Like I like
Yeah,
those
it's
things a
nice.
lot. I think it's very cute.
It's also nice. I think when I started on my dating life after trauma, I was in a date, and then I remember he asked me. He was like, "Oh, like, are you like a very like? Do you mind if like a guy pays for you, like when you go out and stuff, blah blah?" And I was like, I think it's kind of cute. But then later on, like I can also pay by myself. But like I told him, "Oh, I just know, for example, the Dutch usually split everything, and that's fine for me. Like that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
But the first date, like if the guy doesn't pay for me, I'm like, okay, but I'm like, oh, like it's just like I know it doesn't need to be about money or anything.
No.
But it's just like kind of little things that I'm like, okay, I am attracted to that. And it's kind of like, ooh, I'd like to be taken care of.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And I think that's also okay.
Yeah. I know you told me it's like, oh, I know we're like very strong, independent woman, but it is nice to let a guy take care of you.
Yeah.
And like a guy that actually put the effort
Yeah.
to make sure that you are okay and you're being taken care of.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's hard to let go of that, like, I can do it by myself.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
That's
but
very
it
true.
is nice. And it's not about like, oh, I cannot do it. It's just like the man or your partner, whatever, doesn't need to be gender.
No, true. Yeah.
But like your partner can be like, oh, I know you can do it.
Yeah, but I still
just
want to
let me
help
help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like, I think like very cute.
That's very cute.
Very cute. Yeah, very cute.
Yeah, how do you think that, because like you are a big sister, I'm also big sister, also a small sister, but do you think that has shaped you, how you see yourself in any way?
Do you?
I don't know. I do think that I do think that as a big sister, you are kind of taught to take care of your younger siblings. A little bit.
Actually, I thought about it recently, and you know how older sisters or older sibling in general, they have this like second parent that take care of the
Yes.
of the raised or sibling.
Yeah.
Honestly, actually, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I actually know I did not raise my sister. Like I can like prove that I did not raise my sister. I was like, I was not involved with that. My parents will never. I did change her diapers because I want to know.
Yeah, but that is kind of the thing, because I mean, yeah, I like at some point when I was in my teenage phase, like I used to cook a lot, also to just help out my mom and my parents. Like at some point you just get old enough and like you just want to help.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have that. And we have a big age difference.
Yeah, you have a
yes.
big age gap.
So in a way now, I'm more of like, I think later on because we became closer, then she trusts me more and tells me more things, and I like try to advise the best I can.
Yeah.
I also mean like, yeah, teenager, you're fine.
Yeah.
but I don't feel that I raised her.
No, but I think that's a very
Which is like, I know it's a thing for older siblings, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually like, I was really thinking about it, and I was like, oh, I actually did not. I know for sure I did not raise. I never had any responsibility with my sister.
No. Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
Which is like very nice from my parents, I guess so, and also for me that I guess I didn't care. We also had, my sister and I have like almost 10 years difference. So honestly, I could have raised her.
Yeah, that's true. It's true, but I also think that you have a different role as a sister than as a parent, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like some things are also between siblings. So sometimes my siblings would tell me something that in no way will get to my parents. Sorry, Mom.
It is what it is.
But my parents actually also really taught that.
Yeah.
That like you have to be able to trust each other as siblings, and also to not tell us, because that's just how you establish trust with your people.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. So then as a big sister, you are almost like this extra person that they can just trust, which I think is really important.
That's true.
And
I do know that my sister trusts me, and I know that she knows that she can trust me. And I know my mom always told her, like, if you don't want to tell me, then tell your sister. Because she probably thinks that probably your sister is more chill than me. I'm like, yes, probably yes. But
so
it's more of an advice and more sister. And, and also we like play about our parents. We're like, I'm like, you know how mommy is.
Yeah.
You know how papi is. Like, you know how they are. Like, just let them calm down. They're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like this thing in between siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very true.
But it's not raising them, definitely not.
Yeah, definitely
that's a different thing. No. That's very true.
Like, and also like when one thing that I always say is like, oh, I wish my mom actually trust myself more when I was like teenager. And then that was like a thing that she learned with my sister. And I was just like, yeah, I had to learn to trust her more and trust her that I raised her to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you raised her well. You raised me well too. I mean, look at me. I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm no, but in that shape of perfection, I actually think with my sister, I wanted to show her that like, I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. And making those mistakes is okay.
Yeah.
Like I told her, now she is 18 and I'm like, this is the time you can make mistakes. Like this is the time you go crazy, you have stories and all that because you can.
Yeah.
Of course, like, as long as you don't do something criminal, kill somebody.
Put some limitations here on the record.
You make sure you're alive.
On the record.
Good, on the record. But like I don't know, like a lot of things. It's like, just do it, girl.
Yeah, of course.
And I think she really likes that of like my advice. Because I'm like, this is the moment you can make mistakes, learn from
them. And try things out.
Yeah, and try things out. And then when you're older, then that's when becomes more complicated. But then it's like, well, I already learned from when I was little. That's also, if you have a younger sibling, say that to them. They will appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And why do you think women have this, almost sometimes this fear of making mistakes?
I don't know. I mean, I do think the society, like...
Yeah, I do think that it's, like, ingrained in society.
Yeah. I also think that even when we grow up, you think your mom is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does comes a day when you realize that your mom is not perfect.
No, yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
And it is really hard.
And that also makes it more scary to think about becoming a parent. For me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm like, sometimes I think about that now. I'm like, whoa, I don't know. Can I do it? Can I be a mom? Like, I don't
your
know.
kid will see you as this perfect thing that you cannot do wrong, and you always right whatever you say.
Yeah, but you're gonna make mistakes. Like, that's just a fact.
And only when you're older you realize that your parents are not perfect.
Yeah.
Like, recently saw a video saying, oh, when you realize your mom is just a girl.
Yeah.
It's just
living her life. Also for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is
crazy.
That is crazy. It is true. She's just a girl. Yeah. She's just a girl like us.
Yeah.
And I think that's also like what I've been learning recently is like, we're all like humans, and we make mistakes. We're not perfect, but because of making those mistakes, that's what makes us us. And that's why my mom makes. Like, I know she makes a lot of mistakes, and she keeps repeating me like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I know I make a lot of mistakes with you, blah blah." But I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
you're
okay.
also a human
Like,
being.
she was a mom. She was kind of like forced mom when she was 21, and I'm just thinking, imagine me right now with like a 5-year-old. I don't know what would I do. Like, with my life, I don't know how she did it.
No, I don't know how she did it.
Yeah, imagine you having a 4-year kid.
Yeah,
coming
no,
here to
I
be like,
cannot.
"Mama, mama, mama."
I cannot imagine. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
That is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, of course you made mistakes. You did it. I don't know. How would you know either?
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So be kind to your mom.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
last weekend was Mother's Day.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So it's also a
Go
good
and
one
love
for
your
Mother's
mom.
Day.
She deserves a little kiss.
Yeah, I was also, because I was writing a card for Mother's Day, and then I was like thinking about, my mom and how she raised us, and then I was like, whoa, if I could ever be like that, like it's pretty close to perfect, I have to say.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what else she could have done.
Yeah.
So.
And she had 4 kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
She had twins. Like, also just the thing of your body carried 2 human beings. I think already carrying one is like a lot of work, and imagine 2.
Yeah, and then also like literally as babies and like as toddlers. Well, she said that they were really easy. Like, I don't remember that. No, I don't remember it like that. No, that's not true. But like, I do. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how they did it. I also don't know how my mom did it. And she like finished her school.
Yeah,
like finished
all
her
of
school, work, and then also had me.
That is more like a thing. Like, how do you even have kids and like include that in your life? Like, I guess you will just do it automatically because you have to.
Yeah,
like, there's no other option. But that's crazy. Like, I don't know how moms do it.
Yeah, I also don't know how moms do it. And also,
moms are like super.
Yeah, super power.
Yeah.
But then coming back to it, it's like, yes, they're like, you think about it and you will always think they're like the best person ever, but at the same time it's like they're still human. It's still even now they're gonna make mistakes and all that. So
yeah,
I don't know, but also that makes me like love my mom more. So
yeah, this is the thing.
It's like, oh
yeah,
you make mistakes, I love you.
Yeah, that's very true.
This turning into like a podcast for
Mother's Day, but it's gonna come out later.
Yeah, way later. My mom listens to it like.
Yeah, my mom too.
Oh, and the moment it comes out, she's like, I'm already watching it.
Yeah, that's so cute.
It's very cute.
I love it. Yeah, and then like I was also wondering, like, are you very strict on yourself in your mind, or not?
Probably yes.
I think almost everyone is. Yeah, like I'm not even talking about just women. I think everybody is very strict on themselves. And then like, imagine how you would talk to your best friend or to your friend. That's so completely different than at least than how I talk to myself.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just need to like take a step back and be like, well, I really should be focusing more on like what you would say to me in that moment than what I would say to me.
Yeah. But then also that's when you need that friend.
Yeah.
To be like,
course. And like, it's also okay to need that. Yeah.
It's also nice just to have a friend to remind you, be like, be kind, like it's okay, you're having a hard day. Like, take it easy, girl. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Because like, we are our worst critic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, it's always like that with everything. I do try to be kind to myself, but at the end of the day, I'm like, but you can do it better. I'm like, but you can be better, but you can do it better, but you can do. But also, I don't know. I told you, we always talk about this. It's about perspective too.
Yeah.
So like, for me moving here, like recently, I was biking through the Rijksmuseum. So like, if you're in Amsterdam, the Rijksmuseum is like this giant museum, and there's this like little tunnel in the middle of the museum.
Yeah, you can bike through.
And it's so pretty biking there. And I always like thought that will never, like, first of all, I'm not biking expert, so like that part is really busy. So I was like, I will never bike there.
Yeah.
And then second of all, I was like, I will never like do this. Like, who's biking in the middle of a museum? But then now I go there quite often.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every time I go back, I'm like,
That's so cute.
So like, I think that you have to remind yourself of those little things that you thought they were impossible, or you didn't think you were gonna be there.
Yeah.
And be kind of like, oh, I made it. I did this. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And just have that little happiness moment. Be like, hee hee, and then continue with your life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of
moments.
important that you also have to like, you know, sit with it for a bit and like actually appreciate it or like be happy about how far you've come.
Yeah. And even if it's just now me that like I moved to another country, it can be like the tiny little things. Like I understand like when people are very like sad and depressed and all that, like I know it's really hard to see those things.
Yeah.
But even if one day you're having the worst day, but you stand up and you took a shower.
That's already an accomplishment.
That's already enough, honestly. Like that's already enough. True. And when you are so low, even that's like the biggest victory, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to be a big thing. If whatever you are in your life, that's like.
Yeah, and it's always good to start with small steps like that. Especially if you're not feeling well.
Yeah, because also those days when you're not feeling well will come, and then you just have to know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Just know they will not last forever.
Exactly.
That is the best thing to know.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and that light must be even brighter than before. Yeah.
We're so wise.
We're so wise. Oh my goodness. It was very funny because the topic of today we already have prepared, and I was like, oh, it's so deep. I don't know if my brain can comprehend it, like my brain, but actually I love it.
Yeah, well, when I was looking for or thinking about some questions we could talk about, I was like, I want to keep it lighthearted because perfectionism, it sounds so dark and so deep and so difficult.
So perfect.
Yeah, but like I mean, obviously nobody's perfect, and we all know that. Yeah. But I honestly learned in therapy that I do have that in my mind, that I cannot make mistakes, or that I, have to be a good person, that I have to be this and I have to do that, and like I was never aware of that I had that inside me. And then somebody would say it to me, like, you're a perfectionist. I'm like, no, I'm not a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I don't have to be perfect. Like, I'm okay with getting a 6 out of 10 in school, which is like, here you have 1 to 10, which is like just like
just average, like normal. Okay.
Like I was fine with that, but then I realized it's not about that. Like it's not about that. Like even I started thinking about, or like realizing when all the moments when I was being a perfectionist, like in my head, and for example during a Pilates class. If I would get a comment about how I should do something, I would be like talking to myself like, Jesus, you're so fucking stupid. Like, how can you not even do this? Or like, like look at everybody. Like you cannot even do this. Like I would be really mean to myself. Yeah. Oh. And I never even realized that that it would affect me in a sports class. Like it doesn't matter. Like literally, it doesn't matter. Of course, you want to do the right exercise, but you know.
Yeah, like
and only after that, which is maybe like a year ago, I started realizing like, indeed, I don't have to be that strict on myself, and I can also have a day where I cannot do this exercise. Yeah. Like it's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah, so it is okay.
I also think that perfectionism, it sounds very heavy, but it doesn't have to be. Like it's just this thing that in our minds.
Yeah,
like,
and I think it's just how you see it later.
Yeah.
And how you like overcome, like I think it is okay also too, because it makes that care about things.
Yeah.
Like during the sport, you do care that you're doing the exercise well, so then it's more result and you're actually doing it well. So also you don't injure yourself.
Yeah.
But it's okay not to do it 100%.
Yeah. Like, every time.
Yeah, like, or if you cannot lift a specific weight, then put it a little lower. Like. And with the sports, actually, I know that like I'd rather do lower weight and lower stuff. Yeah. And then actually really do well the technique and the movement. Yeah. Instead of just putting myself in like. Yeah. Because then it's like, what? I'm just gonna injure myself. Yeah. That like this is a very like sport mindset that I have. Yeah. But I'm again like I did sports all my life, so it's kind of like it's already in my brain all the time. So I'm like, well. Yeah. No, very true.
Yeah,
but I like this topic. It's really nice. I didn't think like when I read the questions, I was like, this is gonna be
This
like
is okay.
This is okay.
We
It
can
doesn't
handle
need to
this
be-
today. Even today, we can handle this.
even when our brains are a little fried.
Okay, but maybe let's end with a dilemma. Yay, time for the dilemma. So, would you rather have hiccups every time you're saying something serious? Or accidentally sing your thoughts out loud once a day at random? I have hiccups very often.
Really?
Yeah, you'd never noticed?
No, never
I have it
noticed.
very often.
I don't have them very often. I hate when it happens.
It's so funny. Oh, I don't know, like hiccups are so funny to me. Because then I
Yeah.
start talking, but then I'm like in the middle of my
Yeah.
sentence, I'm like,
No, I actually never noticed. I know sometimes I do get them when I'm drunk.
ah. That's funny.
Which is very funny. But then I get really annoyed, and that's the moment I'm like, I need some water. But singing my thoughts once a day.
Yeah, but at random. What if it's like a spicy thought?
Complicated. Like you're in a meeting, and then and then you know when you're in a meeting and you're paying attention, but you cannot space out.
Yeah.
Imagine you start thinking like, remember what you did to me last
Yeah.
night?
Exactly. No, but also the hiccups. I mean, if you're talking about very serious thing, like imagine that you're talking about something very sad, like somebody dying or something,
Yeah,
and then you get the hiccups. Yeah, that's also really annoying.
But I think the hiccups.
It's like a biological thing, though.
Yes,
so, like,
I
it can
won't
happen.
choose the hiccups because
Yeah,
of
me
that.
too.
Like, because it can happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally your body just reacting. So
Yeah.
like, it's more normalized. Even though if I'm saying something serious, then I'm like, I mean, it's my body. Like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I cannot control that.
No.
Well, if it's singing, then it's like a little rude if you're saying like something. And also, I don't want to sing what is in my
No, me neither.
I don't want to sing what is in my head. It's not spicy. It's just random thoughts that I have in my brain.
Yeah.
You know, intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, intrusive thoughts.
Intrusive thoughts. What if I ride the bike? I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sing that. I like actually feel I have really stupid like thoughts in my head sometimes. And I'm like, but what if that happens? I don't want to sing that.
No, true.
I want to look cool. My brain is like...
Look cool with your hiccups.
It's like, yeah, I can look cool with my hiccups. But...
Well.
This is it for today.
Yes.
I guess
Thank you
so.
for listening.
Yes. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Also share with
Yes.
people.
And if you have suggestions for another topics.
Yes, good one.
Or questions or anything, let us know.
Let us know. Comment in there.
And go and tell to your mom that you love her.
Yeah, good one.
Give it a little kiss if you can. And
Yeah.
a hug if you can.
Or your sister.
And your sister or brother.
Yeah, exactly. It can be anybody.
To your sibling, go and give them a little kiss.
Yes.
In the little forehead. And see you next time.
See you.
Doei.
Bye.